Okay, so you know how when somebody says something to you like is rude or mean or is behaving horrible towards you, and you're in the shower later that night or the next day and you're like, man, I should have said this, and man, I should have said that, and I didn't. I need to have a comeback ready. And you always think of it later, right? Always. Like, and you're like the hero afterwards when you think of it in the shower and you really were going to show them. Well, okay, there is one thing that you can use that pretty much there's no comeback for. None. And teach my kids this. Ava actually had to use it one time at school a couple of years ago, but it works. And it works with kids, it works with adults, it works with anybody. And there is no comeback. Actually, we were talking about that at this little mini retreat this weekend. And I was sharing it with them because I think everyone should have this in their arsenal. And that is, your behavior is unacceptable. Your behavior is unacceptable. Y'all, there's no comeback for that. Yeah, there's no comeback for that. You can't. What are you gonna say? And if you say that to someone, like if your kid needs to say that to the other kid on the playground, your behavior is unacceptable. What's the other kid gonna do? Go tell the teacher? They told me my behavior was unacceptable. Well, was it? You tell your mom. So and so said my behavior was unacceptable. Well, was it? Yeah, it was. So there's no comeback for your behavior is unacceptable. And it's something I wish, my dad used it on me when I was a kid and I hated it because there was no comeback for it. And, oh, yes. Okay. I had to write that down before I forget. Because there's another story there, but that's for another day. I wish I'd known about it. I did know about it, sorry. I knew about it because my dad used it on me, but I wish I'd thought about it as an adult. Because as an adult, I was raised in the South and everybody's nice to everybody, even if you don't everybody's nice to everybody. It's not like that other places. You don't waste your time on people that you don't really want to be friends with or people that are mean to you. And I didn't grow up that way. And not in a mean way. Y'all, I've been in healthcare 31 years. Jeez Louise, I'm old. So yeah, 31 years. And never have I been mean or ugly or had crosswords with someone I work with, or patient for that matter, or family for that matter. I know how to be professional at work and to A, keep my job, but B, how to be a professional. I'm not going to show my ass at work and please, I'm a professional. So, but even, I don't care what you do for a living, you shouldn't show your ass at work. Work, school, whatever you're doing, volunteering, all those things should be safe spaces. Those should be places where you are comfortable and you feel safe and you're not feeling like it's a hostile environment. Well, there's a story. When I moved to LA from Arkansas, if y'all saw one of my videos, and then eventually I moved to New York City. And that was, I was a Southern girl. They called me at New York Presbyterian. They used to call me Ellie Mae, whatever. So that's fine. I didn't care. That wasn't hurtful. It was playful. And my daddy always says, you only tease people you like. So it was a tease. It wasn't being mean. But I was working at Mount Sinai one day, and I was dating this urology resident who happened to be sitting at the desk, and I didn't know he was sitting there. And I was in the ICU at the time, and there was this Jamaican nurse, and she was, I was like, I don't know anyone from Jamaica. I wanted to be friends with everybody. Everyone on the unit I wanted to be friends with. And everyone was pretty nice. People in New York are a lot nicer than people think. But not this woman. Not this woman. And I don't know what my problem was, but I was trying to be helpful. She was trying to lift this patient in ICU that was on a ventilator. She's trying to lift him up or turn him in the bed or something. And I went scurrying over and was like, oh, here, let me help you. And I grabbed the sheet, and helped her with, get the patient up or whatever. And I was like, so I really haven't gotten to know you. My name's Tracy. And she, y'all, she looked up at me and said, I don't want to, in this really thick accent, I don't want to be your best friend. Lift the patient. And I was like, I mean, oh, my poor little sweetheart got hurt. And I was like, oh, I mean, I wanted to literally, I probably did have big old crocodile tears in my eyes because that was a bit, my heart was right here when I moved there, y'all. And not by the time I left, but but when I moved there it was. But I learned a life lesson that day. So the, she told me to lift the patient and she was not going to be my best friend. And I was like, oh, okay. So my feelings were hurt. I was like, had that little pain in your neck when you get, or whatever you get, when your feelings are hurt. I always got a pain in my neck and my big tears. Went over and the guy I was dating was sitting there looking at me sideways. And I was like, what? She just really hurt my feelings. And he said, do you like her? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know her. And he was like, she's a bitch. Like, no one likes her. She's hateful to everybody. Why were you trying to run over and help her? There's a reason no one else was helping her. She's hateful. And he was like, why would you run over and try to help her? And I was like, well, I was trying to be nice. I mean, that's the way I was raised. I was trying to be professional. I was trying to, help a fellow coworker out. And he's like, do you want to hang out with her outside of work? And I said, oh, God, no, absolutely not. And he said, then why do you want to be her friend? If you want to help her, fine, walk over, lift the patient up and leave. But you don't have to be friends with everyone. You can be, cordial and professional and whatever, but why are you wasting your time on someone you wouldn't spend 10 minutes with outside of here? And I was like, because I was brought up that way. And he was like, stop it. You don't, like, in New York, you bump into people on the street. you do. There's a lot of people there, y'all. So on my way to and from the subway from my apartment, if it's crowded especially, you bump into people. It's like, you do. And, but it's just brushing by. I mean, nobody thinks anything of it. The tourists do, but people that live there don't. Now, if you really hit somebody hard, you say, excuse me, but for the most part, you just bump into people. And he's like, there's, 7 million people in this city? Spend your time on those that, that are your true friends that you care about. And the rest, be kind, be cordial, but you don't have to be friends with everybody, Tracy. And I was like, oh, well, that just changed my life. I mean, that's a lot of energy I've been expending. So, and I don't know, I think I told y'all this on another, maybe not. I don't remember I don't remember. I'm going to tell you again. There's one surefire way if you're going to New York. And people always ask, they're like, oh, it drives me crazy trying to get down the street because people are like coming at you and it's like a game of chicken, like who's going to move? There's a trick. And that trick is if you are walking on the street and you just act like you're looking, just don't look in front of you. Just like you're looking around like daydreaming or something. And the seas will part. Because people think you're going to crash right into them. And people are looking at you, trying to figure out who's going to move. It's, a game of chicken. And if I'm not looking, they lose. So they know they're moving because I'm not looking. And you guys, I could get down the street so fast in New York. So anyway, basically, to get back to my point and out of my rabbit hole, if somebody is unkind to you or whatever and are rude or their behavior is not acceptable, tell them your behavior is unacceptable. Boom. You're done. Y'all have a good night.